On today's wrestling news, is Jade Cargill injured or not?
We've got an update on Kenny Omega's plans for his full-time return.
Got a backstage update on Carmella.
And Adam Copeland says he's ready to get back at it.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news times? My name is Phil James and joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling news. But first up, Jade Cargill. They filmed the sort of injury angle on SmackDown last week where we kind of saw her laid out on top of a car all beaten up. And it was to write her off TV for a bit, obviously. But the reports on why are kind of running rampant. It's a bit all over the place of what's going on at the minute, but we've got an update from Dave Meltzer on it all of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. So she was obviously scheduled for War Games, so she is out of that, and Bayley was put in on SmackDown last night. And it was originally speculated because it was for an injury to write her off TV, as these things usually are. But then some reports kind of went all over the place. But the update is that she is expected out of action for at least 3 months, possibly longer. But Dave Meltzer himself has had 3 different versions of a story from people within WWE that have reported back to him. So one was that, as is usually the case, it was just written off for a storyline to write her off because of a real injury. However, there is a weird little caveat to it that this one has kind of been kept secretive, as one person in WWE mentioned that nobody, including her close friends, seems to know what the injury actually is or why it happened. So that's one of the reports. Another one is from a higher up within WWE, supposedly, who said 100% that she is injured and the stories denying it are false. And then another version is that the injury was created to cover for a political backstage issue. So still kind of all over the place in terms of the reports, but I would probably lean on the side of a legitimate injury because that's where most of the reports seem to be coming from, and I have no idea about the other ones, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Meltzer expects them to drop the tag team titles and believes a tournament will happen to crown new ones. But the most important thing with this obviously is that Jade Cargill is healthy and happy and has a good recovery and is back on TV where she belongs anytime soon, so we wish her all the best with her recovery.
Yeah, weird one, this, but I'm with you. If there's a lot of, or if there's at least multiple reports suggesting an injury, you just tend to lean with the majority because you never know in wrestling. There'll just be one person going, actually, just to cause a bit of chaos, you know.
There's always someone with an axe to grind or something, some ulterior motive.
They're taking my spot. I'm going to bring them down. All that kind of stuff. We're obviously speculating there, but yeah, it's a bit crap for Jade and Bianca because I've liked what they've done with the tag belts. Yeah, all the matches haven't been 5-star world class, but the actual story that's being told with those being a unit and then just having a little bit of friction, not a lot, but it's just a nice slow build. I like where it was going, and now it feels like it's just been derailed a little bit. But hopefully, if she's only out for a couple of months, 3 months, whatever it is, then we could still be on track for perhaps a WrestleMania thing, whatever it is. I think that'd be
the thing, especially with WrestleMania being a little bit later this year, gives it a little bit more time. So as far as injuries happening at sort of this time of the year, potentially if that 3 months is legit from Meltzer, that she will be back at least in time for Mania, so get something there. So that would be good.
Yeah, Phil, I completely forgot where we were on the calendar there. I thought we were in about July, but no, we're in November, aren't we? And I was
in November,
3 months does bring you very close to Mania now, come to think of it. But it could be a cool little return on the road to WrestleMania, and then it just, I don't know, when's Elimination Chamber? Is that February? It could be maybe around that. We're just speculating.
1st of March, I think.
1st of March.
So potentially Elimination Chamber.
Could be a return there, when I had some chamber shenanigans with them both, and then sets up the match. You could do it. It's there. So that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on that one. But speaking of potential returns, they've got a return that's actually happening now, so not speaking of potential returns, just returns in general. Kenny Omega, it's a big one. We spoke about it a lot in these videos. I feel like every single Saturday we've got some kind of an update on Kenny Omega, and we got another because Dave Meltzer obviously loves his Omega, and he's talking about him again in the Wrestling Observer, the latest one, and it's all about obviously his first match, official match, it's going to be the one that he's going to be returning for has now been confirmed, and it is going to be against Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty, which is the New Japan AEW crossover superstar mega Avengers Assembled event. And he's just gone into a bit of detail on it and just explained really where he thinks Omega's head's at, really, going into this match and going into his full-time return just in general. So I'll just explain. I will say the quote. So Kenny Omega's first match back in well over a year is the 5th of January at the Tokyo Dome against Gabe Kidd. It's very interesting because Kidd works a very physical style, and with the angle that set it up with a backstage fight, it has to be a high, intense brawl style match. A lot of people brought up the idea of why Omega is doing his first match in New Japan, but, you know, the 5th of January show is a joint show with AEW, and in a sense it's considered the AEW debut show in Japan, where his return would mean the most, which makes a lot of sense. But Omega does need to get going on US television in a big way if he's physically ready to work regularly. Right now, he wants to take it slow before going back full-time, with the idea of easing into a full-time schedule down the line and hoping everything holds up. So he's looking to, if he is, he is looking to get like a full-time return up and going, but he's going to ease himself in there because you just don't want to shoot loads of 5-star flippy crazy matches if your body's not quite up to it yet and then maybe get injured again. So this is wise. If this is where Omega's going for me, I'm very much here for it. Just take your time, Kenny. Have a couple brawls, go full Steve Austin for a little bit, just do some violent brawls, and then just find your feet, man. You've got loads of time. AEW's going nowhere, so just take your time.
Yeah, absolutely, completely agree with that. I mean, Gabe Kidd definitely works a physical style, but let's face it, so does Kenny Omega. Every single match that he ever does, it's not like he goes half, does he? He kind of goes all out for absolutely everything. So it makes sense to take it a little bit slow, at least less matches to sort of let him figure out where his body is and what he can and can't do. And hopefully, we get Kenny Omega back on TV full time, because my word, I miss him. Just hope he's back, ready, feeling healthy, and it's good to go for a hell of a 2025.
Yeah, we only need one match a month, maybe, if that, Kenny. Don't go mad. But one match every 2 months, I'd be happy with Kenny right now. Just have him on TV, having a chat, and then just take your time. Just take your time.
Yeah. Lovely. But speaking of taking her time, we've got a backstage update about Carmella. Now, we haven't seen her on WWE TV since March 2023, when she took some time off to give birth. But unfortunately, during that birth, she suffered drop foot, which is a really horrible injury that happens during labour and pregnancy that causes herniated discs in the lower back, and it's extremely difficult to recover from, especially when you think of what she would be recovering to go and do in terms of going out to go wrestling. But Faithful Select have a bit of an update on it, but it is not a good update. It's just that there is still no timetable set for a return. She is still recovering, but he is told that if she does recover, she would be welcomed back whenever she is ready by WWE. Earlier this year, she revealed herself that she went through 60 hours of labour, which is insane, but that she still has interest in a return, but she has to remain patient and make sure that she is both mentally and physically ready for a return should it happen. So, not the best of updates from Carmella, still recovering from what is a horrific injury during childbirth, but 60 hours labour is absolutely insane. So 100% just get well soon to Carmella.
I just hope this is a reminder for anyone who sits there and just goes, oh yeah, somebody gives birth and then they should be back in a ring within a couple of months. It's no, pregnancies and giving birth can be very complicated, and what women put their bodies through is they're superhuman. I'll never fully understand it, so I just hope she's okay. I hope she's, again, just resting up as best she can and recovering, and just there's no rush at all. Just take your time, and I don't know, I'm still trying to get my head around 60 hours of labour. That is frightening. So
hideous.
Sending all the best to Carmella, because that is wow. I think we've kind of had a bit of a hopeful return theme with this video, because we're going to end on a story of a return that's looking like it's going to be happening quite soon in the not too distant future. Adam Copeland, who of course decided to jump off a cage and destroy his leg, because that's just what you do at 51 apparently. So we were speaking with Toronto Leafs Nation. I believe it's hockey. I think he likes his hockey. So I think he was chatting all things hockey. And then he was asked just about his injury and the recovery and anything else. So he said, my brain forgets I'm 51, but my body quickly reminded me, you just jumped from 21 feet, a-hole. His body was like, what are we doing? Of course. And So yeah, he then said, that's technically 3 stories, you're 51, quit it. So yeah, that's, when you put it that way, no, don't do that. I wouldn't do that now. It's just, I'm 30, don't never do this. Wrestlers are insane. So regarding his return, is the status of that, where he's at with it, he said, but I feel good, I'm ready to get back at it and to get busy again. And of course, I believe it was reported not too long ago, maybe a week ago or something, that he's now been given the green light, he's been given, there's been an update that he's now cleared physically, so he can wrestle, can do the old wrestling stuff again, but he's currently filming a TV series, isn't he? So he's filming the Percy Jackson thing. I think he plays Ares. I've seen a few clips of it. It looks pretty good. Pretty good at the old acting stuff, this edger. So yeah, I think he's going to be doing that for a while, and then that's due to conclude in January. So he probably won't be doing anything before January, you'd think? Or maybe, I don't know, there's a video thing, there's a run-in, whatever it is. I think film studios and TV studios are a bit funny about people getting physical when they're obviously paying them to be in a show. So maybe not, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Plenty of insurance issues.
Yeah, a little bit. So, but the fact that he's cleared and he's healthy is a good sign. Just do not jump off anything now. You've done your jumping. We've seen it. We've got them all. We've got all the videos, all the highlight reels. You don't need to do any
jumping years.
You've done your jumping.
Calm down.
Yeah, calm
down.
down.
Know the consequences of my actions.
Calm down. You need to be stood there in gorilla before it goes out. Just calm down. No.
What you planning? Just no. You're 51. Maybe he just needs that on the mirror of his dressing room. He just needs to write you're 51 every single time.
Hey, he looks good for 51, dude. There's no denying it, but your body is 51. That's a fact. It just can't do what it did before, so just take it easy.
Yeah. You're not a 20-something anymore jumping up ladders at WrestleMania. Calm down, Edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously good to hear he's back and ready, and very excited to have him back on TV. But that is it.
I think that's what we've just got for the thumb, isn't it? It was to the thumb and just calm down, Edge.
Calm down.
that's it.
You're old now.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But thank you very much for joining us. Has been the wrestling news. If you want, you can follow us over on the old social medias. You can follow me at Phil My Chambers, and you can follow Gareth
at gmorgan04 on X and at Gareth Morgram on Instagram. And then within that, if you like your fitness stuff, you want a bit of inspiration, or you just want to talk fitness, I've got at fitness.focus.gm, and I'm now technically a qualified level 3 personal trainer. So hopefully I'm going to set up some stuff for people who want to just, I don't know, get fit or just feel a bit more confident in the gym again, whatever it is. Yeah.
So if you want to get personally trained by Gareth, hit him up.
That's it. So I'm looking to set up, I believe, an online thing in the next couple of months. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, drop us a DM and we'll see what we can do going forward. Let's get fit and let's get confident in the gym again, because the gym's a good place. It's nice, makes me feel nice, and hopefully it'll make you feel nice too. There you go. That's my tagline.
Let's end the video. Bye.